title of the stream right here. And then what'll happen is when I go live now, or if I say
Hello, welcome. Halloween, Samhain, the Day of the Dead, All Hallows Eve. Traditionally, the night when the restless spirits of the dead rise to walk among us. Ghouls and ghosts and ghastly things that go bump in the night. The terrifying, the sad, and the horrifying. A time when the nights draw in close, and the candlelight that holds it at bay flickers and gutters in the wind from beyond the veil. Better not let it go out. A time to gather in the pools of firelight and tell stories. Drink and make merry. To sing loudly and keep the fears at bay. My lovelies, my pretty ones. Take a glass in your hand, and let's hear some tales of those beings that might walk out there tonight, out past our little lit-up windows. Late one night, a man left a Lancashire pub and strode out into the darkness, into the night, away from the warm hearth, and down the long, narrow road towards his home. His name was Gabriel. Now, Gabriel was a little tipsy, but being braced by the brisk night air, he walked with a spring in his step and a merry whistle upon his lips, his dog Trot peacefully plodding by his side. Overhead, a thin crescent moon shone her pale light down onto the stones of the road. Illuminating the thick hedges that lined it. And overhead, the trees arched over the road, their branches like plucking fingers reaching down, outlined against the sky. But Gabriel carried on heedless. After all, it was a lovely night for a long walk. in the dark. A scream shattered the silence. Gabriel froze, his whistle dying on his lips, and Trot began to whimper. Gabriel roughly told him to be still and carried on walking, the sound of his own voice bolstering his courage. Further down the road, Gabriel saw someone. Gripping his walking staff tight in his right hand, he walked, easily outpacing the shambling, slow figure. Now closer, he saw that this figure was in fact a woman. Stooped and bent, her head hidden inside a large white bonnet. Trot began to bark, and suddenly turned tail and ran, and Gabriel shouted after him to no avail. So he hurried on after the woman. What else could he do? "Where are you going, ma'am?" he asked her. She mumbled something in reply. "I will walk with you," he said. "It can be dangerous to walk alone at night, in the dark." Again, he received only a faint reply. Gabriel noticed that slung over this woman's arm was a large covered basket, and he wondered if perhaps that was why she was stooping. "May I carry that for you?" he asked her solicitously. She handed it to him, and he settled it comfortably in the crook of his arm. It was not that heavy. "You're too kind," she said to him gently. But then her voice changed, became harsh, unpleasant, mocking laughter. Gabriel turned to look at her, but she had turned away and seemed to be staring into the hedge.